WWE's Royal Rumble is finally upon us, and this weekend we see one of the biggest title fights we've ever seen, not for the WWE, but for Pick the Push, when Japeth puts his championship on the line against the number one contender, TheJaredHolmes. Plus, anyone can get in the action. Just follow the links in our bios, fill out the Royal Rumble card, and get your chance to become not only the number one contender, not only the champion, but you get to talk to me. Who wouldn't want that? Good luck to all who enter, and if you want a little bit of an edge, keep listening because we go over not only our thoughts of what's going to happen at the Royal Rumble, but we go over the entire Pick the Push Royale card. We continue our Raw vs. AEW for the year, and we get an interview with the number one contender. It's not something you're going to want to miss. Let's get into it.
Pick the push. Call it sharp, call it clean. Pick the push. No half steps, no in between. Pick the push. No luck, no hush. Only legends survive when you pick the push.
It's been 1 month since the Push Royale. Nah, it's too many syllables.
I think for this week, let's start with Raw vs. AEW. Starting with Raw, I have no parts that were important. I think Mysterio got injured. I think that was the only part that I would want people to know.
Oh God, Raw. It's not good. I'm looking through this. It's not good. The only thing I liked about Raw was the all the El Grandes versus the Alpha Academy versus New Day versus American Made.
Yeah, that was legit. That Fatal 4 tag match.
I like that a lot. That sets up Gable returning. That'd be really, really nice.
Yeah, possibly at the Rumble.
Yep. I'm trying to be real nice about stuff.
Why?
Because I'm trying to not just shit all over it because it wasn't good, and if I start shitting all over it, we'll be here for fucking hours because of how awful it was.
Right.
DQ main event. Rey Mysterio, the legend, another person gets injured. Looks like another shoulder injury.
Yeah, added to the list.
Not good.
And he just came back.
Yeah, I'm not happy about that at all because it's Rey Mysterio. I don't like to see him injured. I don't like to see anyone injured, especially not a legend like that.
He'll be fine. He has stem cells.
And yeah, I think that's it.
I felt like they did my boy Fergal dirty, and I don't like it.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
Prince Devitt? Wasn't that this week?
Oh, okay. Yeah, no, Prince Devitt's a thing. I've never heard him referred to as Fergal, though.
It's his name. It's Fergal Devitt.
I don't believe that. That might
right.
be the most important thing out of Raw.
Regardless, Prince Devitt was done dirty, and I didn't like it. And I got lots of D's in there, so how do you like that? They done did dirty. Yeah, I didn't like that. I liked the women's match, and despite the fact that Mysterio is possibly injured, just watching him, he's a tough son of a bitch, and it's really fun to watch him be tough, you know? He's like micro John Moxley, and I love that.
It's like way more high-flying micro Moxley.
I feel like he actually put on a pretty good. He took some really good hits this week. Well, how do I say that he looked good taking hits minus the injury?
I mean, he still got the job done, right? They still finished the match? Or no, they called the X.
I know, they got the X and they ended it.
That's almost 2 weeks in a row? Or maybe they didn't last week, but they did before with Javon Evans?
Yeah.
Should we start keeping track of injuries? Because it just seems to keep piling up on WWE, and somebody should be talking about it.
Definitely seems that way. I don't really have any more to talk about, though. Like, the injuries suck, and it's part of wrestling, but it is interesting to me that WWE tries to be safer, and it seems like they're just getting more injuries.
I definitely want to point out the fact that I never knew Finn Balor's real name.
Was Fergal Devitt?
Is this his government name? We're
His
doxing
government
right now?
name. Yeah.
Is Fergal?
Yeah.
That's worse than Mac Jones being named McCurkle.
Oh.
Dear Pick the Push universe, it's happened. It's happened as of today. The knowledge is going upstream. I've taught them something.
I don't know how I feel about it either. Did you know his dad was named Fintan?
Probably Finton, but yeah.
Hang on. Is our Ferg, is that short for Fergal? Is this the
No,
really
Ferguson.
common name that I'm learning?
No. It's a super niche Irish name.
Yeah, well, also, I'm not gonna believe that his name is Ferguson if I now believe that Prince Devitt, Finn Balor's name is Fergal.
He's the Alpha Fergal.
Suck on that.
Yeah, Fergal.
It's pretty big. You know, he's part of the Bullet Club.
that
I have
guy,
heard.
that guy was part of the Bullet Club.
All right, that's definitely enough about Raw though. But on the flip side too, regardless of how good AEW was or wasn't, I was ready to just give my point this week to AEW. But then it was also amazing.
I feel like AEW was so amazing that it was just as good as the It's a Wednesday night show. It was so good that it was up there with like a Blood and Guts or what was the holiday one? A World's End?
No, World's End was the pay-per-view.
There was one the week before though. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, they had like that holiday hardcore match or whatever.
Yeah, it's just a random Wednesday, and they're getting better every week.
Yeah, and the biggest part of AEW, and the most notable, and I'm sure we can all agree, is that Ciampa is all elite now. And even if he didn't show up, I still think the show would have kicked Raw's ass anyway.
I think that's totally true. But you also know that I have no feelings towards Ciampa yet.
That's a shame, but you will. I promise you, you will. He's badass. And obviously, I'm a fanboy anyway because he's New Englander, and so am I.
Hometown boy.
I didn't know he was a New Englander.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, he was Chaotic Wrestling. And like, he's from New England.
Yep.
Do you know one thing I know about him?
What's that?
His intro is so sick, dude. You guys, his intro is ill.
That's not his best one, but it's a good one.
Yeah. I mean, I'm happy with it.
I'm very happy with it.
And instantly into the TNT picture, which is pretty dope. Like, I don't want Briscoe to lose or anything, but if he was going to lose to anybody, I'd want it to be Ciampa. No offense to Briscoe.
Yeah, no. If you want to show how strong somebody is coming into a company, just put the belt on the boy.
Sounds good to me.
Let him be the TNT Open Champion and just start being an Open Champion because he'll do it.
I thought you were gonna say that if you wanted to introduce somebody, you should have them go up against Mark Briscoe, and I was totally gonna agree because I have to start talking about the clone Briscoe fight, which was unhinged.
That was another great one. I never really gave a shit about El Clone, but that match made me care, and he's pulling out moves, and I'm like, that was cool as fuck.
Yeah, he did like what 6 matches that you said you're gonna steal.
6 moves at least, yeah. All crazy high flying ones, and I'm 260 pounds, so we'll see how that works. But we're trying.
He's like, I'm not gonna do any more flippy shit. And then like he watches one El Clone match. He's like, I'm doing all this flippy shit.
I want to do the flippy shit. It just hurts my legs.
What I have to give El Clone, I respect El Clone's high flying antics and things like that, but for me, it's actually some of the more subtle things that he does. Like when Briscoe did the J Driller and he flipped out from his head, and the time he took before the first slap into Briscoe, and he did another like head flip, jump to his feet things throughout the match. It made his agility seem very, very atypical and really, really special because I've never seen anybody move like that in that same way. Like, don't get me wrong, I think that Ricochet could probably do some of the same shit that El Clone is doing, but he's not. And that's a piece of artistry that I think El Clone has that makes him unique and special.
Yeah, because at the end of the day, he's just a clone of Hologram. So it's like, why should I give a shit about the clone and not just the original guy? But El Clone has made me a fan.
The 2 slaps by the slap from El Clone to Briscoe and Briscoe's to El Clone was my top moment of the night, I have to admit.
Sure. The match of the night I'd give for the main event for Swerve versus Andrade.
Incredible.
I really do not like Andrade, but I like that match a lot. And Swerve, obviously, I know can put on a fucking show, but obviously I know Andrade is a really good wrestler too. And them together was unbelievable. I don't know if I have a moment, but I would give it to that match as a whole. Like, if I was going to go back and rewatch anything besides the Ciampa return, just because I'm a huge Ciampa fanboy, it would just be that match. That match was fantastic, and that match was worth rewatching. Never mind if you didn't see it, go back and see it.
Now, mine would have to be, honestly, Tekla and Statlander.
Okay.
I
Really?
really enjoyed that match. And I'll say it once and I'll say it again. You do an Alabama Slam, and it's an instant winner for me. Chris
Fair enough.
Statlander did an Alabama Slam to Tekla. Tekla took an Alabama Slam. But not only did she take an Alabama Slam, she got an Alabama Slam to the turnbuckle.
Jesus Christ.
It's absolutely
It
brutal.
was awesome.
With all that said, and I know this is silly. I'm going to choose AEW this week. What about you guys?
AEW.
Don't
Raw.
even fucking shut
You
the
letting
fuck
me
up.
you letting me down. You letting me down. I'm picking
All right.
AEW. It's gonna be a fucking landslide.
He got you so bad, Ian. Oh my god.
I was upset. I was upset he was even going to joke about it. All right. Well, that being said, AEW leads 3-1 this year so far. We'll see what happens next week. On to what is going to be the next PTP Royale. This weekend is the Royal Rumble, and the entry for that will be right after SmackDown per usual. There are some things that I want to talk about for the Rumble before we get into the card specifically. One of the biggest matches on that card is going to be AJ versus Gunther, where if AJ loses, he's going to retire. And it seems like Shinsuke Nakamura spoiled it for everybody, and AJ's going to retire.
Yeah, 1000%.
But it almost seems like too obvious. Like, I feel like AJ and Shinsuke would be smarter than that, than to just, release that, especially at that time. Like, it would make sense that, like, he would do it after, right? Like, there's no point in doing it before it if you're going to spoil the ending already, right? That's why I'm skeptical.
I don't see him re-signing. I really do think that this is his retirement match.
Right. Another layer to this is that his contract ends 3 days after the Rumble,
Yeah.
right?
I believe so.
But also, for whatever reason, too, I'm looking at the fine details. It says for in-ring competition. I don't know what that means. I don't know if it said that for anything about John Cena being his last match or anything, too. Just another interesting spot.
Do you think they're gonna maybe do a Bryan Danielson?
Like if he was like a GM or an announcer or like a
Yeah, a
manager or
commentator,
something.
you
I
know?
think anything's possible. It's weird that they would just have that verbiage. And like I said, I'm skeptical with Shinsuke posting that AJ planned on retiring at the Rumble and looks like this is it type of stuff.
That does feel really weird. We're talking about really seasoned wrestlers spoiling shit for other
Yeah.
wrestlers they're close to. That feels weird for me.
Yeah, I agree. That's the only part that makes me skeptical that like maybe there is some hope for AJ to win it, but it doesn't look like that right now, I'll be honest.
Yeah, this does seem like, because like it seemed that with that whole post about Shinsuke, like just as evidence that it seemed like he really was trying to give him his flowers, just
Yeah.
because of like their comparison from their 2010 Wrestle Kingdom match versus their match that they just had on Raw. That you have his contract going up, he took trademark out on stuff, so I think he's still probably going to be like not in ring, but like a behind the scenes, like helping people train and set up their matches and things like that.
Oh.
Here's another twist to it, just because I like to twist. Gunther is announced for the Rumble. He will be in it. What are the odds you think we see AJ? Even after.
Wait, what?
So Gunther's pulling double duty, being in the Rumble and wrestling AJ.
Oh.
Okay.
And he's not the only one either, because I believe Sami Zayn might as well. Sami Zayn might not be announced, but I'd kind of expect it if he loses.
Okay, so here's a thought. Maybe AJ is in the Rumble doing double duty just like Gunther, and then Gunther makes him tap out in the first one, and then comes in, and he's the Rumble winner at throwing
He
Gunther out.
beats Gunther out of the Rumble. See, that would be a cool enough layer to me. Or even if he comes in as like JA, like Styles, something stupid. He has like he
JA?
just has like a mustache or something on.
Oh, you mean his twin brother with the same stats and the same
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
backstory? Okay,
Yep.
okay.
Yep. All the
Got
same moveset, all that. I could see something like that.
Kind of like how the Bruins might sign Patrice Bergeron within the next couple of weeks.
Oh, is that true?
No, that'd be
Oh.
great though.
They would be great.
You know, this would be great.
Bergeron. What?
Number 30 hits, and we hear, "Ba, ba, da, ba." John Cena. How likely is he to come into the Rumble? Probably 0, but it doesn't change the fact that I want it.
I have some news about the Rumble that I know almost for a fact that I think Kevin Owens is not coming back for the Rumble.
Kevin Owens.
What makes you think that?
Just the timeline. He didn't get the surgery until like late July. So it's one of those we're still looking at another 3 or 4 months before he's even remotely cleared.
Nuts.
I'm still hopeful.
I understand. Like you can remain hopeful, but I'm gonna say that the likelihood of Kevin Owens returning for the Rumble is actually really, 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 really low. But Kevin Garnett, anything is possible.
Right. Which, speaking of which, actually, I have something that I'm going to show you guys. I'm going to bring it up right here. This happened on ESPN. This was live. I haven't heard his response to that video, but I've seen his face when the gentleman on ESPN just blatantly
Told
says
him.
that Seth's coming back for the Rumble. I have two thoughts there, where everybody seems to think that they spoiled it and Seth would be coming back for the Rumble, and ESPN might have some information like that, right, from behind the scenes, because WWE is partnered with ESPN. But ultimately, if they're going to have that big of a reveal at the Rumble, why would either of those guys on ESPN know? I definitely think it was just them getting their wires crossed, thinking, oh, this is Seth Rollins. He's a WWE guy. He's here to promote the Royal Rumble. He must be participating in it, is how I would think this happened. But
Yeah.
it's pretty interesting the way that Seth kind of reacted. I mean, he got the hold the brakes and pump the brakes on it, but like his face was like, oh shit, for a second. So
How many slots in the Rumble are unannounced?
right now, 15. I'll check again, but as far as I know for the men's, there's only 15 announced. So
30 people in total, and 15 have been announced.
17 out of 30 now. Randy Orton and Brock Lesnar. Brock Lesnar announced it on Pat McAfee's show. He literally just called him right before Pat McAfee's show started. It was like, hey, Pat, you still doing that stupid podcast? And Pat's like, it's a show now. We're on ESPN. And he's like, well, I just wanted to call and let you know I'm going to be in the Royal Rumble this year. And like, that's how we found out.
Okay.
I love it. I'm not gonna lie.
He's on FaceTime. Yeah, hilarious. I only have one more thing about the Rumble. I got word that WWE trademarked Judas or something along those lines, and it seems almost 100% that Jericho will be there at this point now. I know we were like in the air last week. We weren't sure, whatever. At this point, I'm like more confident than anything that Jericho will be a participant in the Royal Rumble. I wouldn't say he's going to win, but I think we'll see Jericho.
Well, I guess that does make sense. We saw Jesus on Dynamite this week, so it makes sense that Judas would be in WWE.
Yeah, now that you mentioned that, yeah.
If we don't see Jericho at the Rumble, it is guaranteed he will be there on that Monday.
Yeah, at least, yeah.
One of those two.
All right, moving on now into the actual questions I have. I'm going to keep this streaming so you guys can see the questions and
I
ask
appreciate it.
questions
Let
as
me
we
tell
go
you.
too. I think it just makes more sense, right? It's easier to
Mhm.
follow along that way too. So as of right now, let me make sure. I think there's 4 matches announced. That's what it looks like. So we have both Rumbles, the men's, the women's. It's Drew McIntyre versus Sami Zayn for the WWE Championship, and then AJ versus Gunther.
Why couldn't they have a ladies match? They don't have enough ladies?
I probably not. It's probably hard enough to do 30 women for the Rumble.
Guys, they're in Saudi Arabia.
Yeah, that's a good reason.
Oh, right.
Which makes sense why Brock would be there too, because he's probably getting a bag.
Yep.
I mean, if anybody's going to spend a lot of money to get a lot of great people or maybe a really big twist at the end, Saudi might be the place for it.
We might get some ridiculous returns just because of Saudi money.
Right, that's what I would expect. And plus, Sammy being like the hometown boy over there, kind of too, is I expect McIntyre to win that match, but I think that's going to be electric. I had Sami Zayn winning this Rumble, but it doesn't seem like he would be if he's in that match. But if Gunther's pulling double duty, why not Sami Zayn? Which brings us into the men's predictions right here. For the winners, I'm not going to list everybody, but it has a list of everybody that's already guaranteed to be in it. Plus, there's a few people I threw in like surprises. I have Jericho listed. I don't think Dom's officially in it, but he is also listed on their banner for the Rumble. Edge is also an option. I even had John Cena, Kevin Owens. Pick at your own risk. LA Knight is kind of like, he might be the dark horse in the whole thing. I might consider even picking LA Knight. I think as of right now, the one with the best odds is Roman Reigns, but I don't know if I'm going Romans yet. I have Royce Keys in there, which is Hobbs, Powerhouse Hobbs, WWE name apparently. And then on top of everybody there, as far as like the random people I threw in that you might be able to pick, on top of the guys that are already announced, there's also the other option. So if anybody that wins it that is not listed, if you choose other, as in the field, for anybody else, you would get points for that.
That makes sense.
Ooh.
My question is, if El Grande Americano wins, how do you know if you've picked the correct El Grande Americano?
I think that's just a bridge we're gonna have to cross when we get there.
Okay, all right.
Well, I don't think the El Grandes are listed in the people that he had, in all honesty. So you would have to just pick other.
But there was one El Grande because he's announced. But is it Chad Gable El Grande or is it Ludwig Kaiser?
Oh no, you picked Chad Gable.
That's just the picture for El Grande Americano on the WWE website. All of these pictures are from WWE.com, including Edge, who is not listed as an alumni, which I was very upset about until I realized he was listed under Hall of Fame, and I was like, that's fair.
What are the chances of a surprise Finn? Not a Finn win, just him being there.
I would expect
Right?
him to make it because they were pulling that whole thing of like there's not enough spots in the Rumble. There's something
Yeah.
to that. Like, why are they showing that to us if there's not something to it?
Easy. He's gonna take Rey Mysterio's spot.
Maybe.
Oh, that's great.
That would make sense because Ray's out, right? I think I still even have Ray listed in the Rumble, but I'll tell you right now, I'm not taking it out. Don't pick Rey Mysterio. Next question for the men's Rumble. We just have the brand of the winner. The options are Raw, SmackDown, NXT, or other.
I like that.
That one's easy enough where you get a rebuttal. So even if you want to double down and let's say you pick a Raw superstar and you pick Raw, if there's somebody from Raw that wins, you'll get points.
And are we going by?
I'm going by WWE.com.
I was gonna say when we're going by brand, we're going by the website, correct? So
Absolutely.
if we go and we look at the
Absolutely.
roster, it'll say which roster they're on.
You betcha. Similar to that, where you get the brand, you also get to pick the brand of the first superstar to be eliminated. That'd be fun too, just the reverse.
I like that. Yeah.
And then the last question for the men's Rumble is, will there be more Raw, SmackDown, or NXT superstars in the top 5? You have that as an option. You also have none, though, because if they were all like TNA guys, then the answer would be none, I wouldn't expect that, but, who knows?
I like this. This feels very gambly, and I think that's pretty cool.
Yeah, I feel like that way you still get your rebuttal if you can't, because picking the winner is almost impossible. But then if you do, you get rewarded in the amount of points you'll get for the winner. I think that's worth like 15 points or something like that. I forget how I broke it down exactly.
Huge win.
But
yeah.
everything's evened out. So that's a huge win. You get points back for these. The women's is very similar, where you have the list. It has the picture of everybody. Put in random people again. That one was kind of hard to think of extra people. I tried to put in as many NXT people that made sense to me too, like the North American and the NXT Women's Champion. If you guys think of other women that I should add, let me know. As of right now, the betting favorite is Liv Morgan to win the Women's Rumble. I even put Naomi in there. I don't expect her to show up. But you can pick her. Yeah, even Trish Stratus is in here. Same thing. And then brand of the winner. Superstar eliminated. So the winner of AJ versus Gunter, that's just the regular question. And then the second question is just how does this match end? Pinfall, submission, DQ, count out, KO. I didn't have anything too special for that, but also it might be a retirement match. So like I didn't have too much to put in and I just wanted to kind of, give it the respect it deserves too. That's why like how will it end matters. And then similar to that, Drew McIntyre versus Sami Zayn for the WWE Championship. We have the winner. How will this match end? Same thing, pinfall, submission, DQ, countout, knockout. And then the only other question that I added to this one, because it is a championship match, will the champion retain? Sami Zayn might win the match, but if it ends on DQ, then he's not going to be the champion. And then on to the event props. We only did 4 this time. We have announced tables. Your options are 0, 1, or 2 or more. Over, under, half of a ref bump. And then this one was, because it's the Rumble, this is for both Rumbles. I have over under 6.5 Rumble surprises. So people we're not going to expect. But this is for both Rumbles. So it's essentially if there's 4 in each Rumble, that would be over. And, that number made enough sense where it was small enough where it could be over, but also it might be too big too. How do you guys feel about that?
I don't feel anything about it except for the fact that now you're teaching me with that question. You're teaching me exactly how exciting the Royal Rumble is.
Oh yeah, absolutely. But that's still, like I said, that might be too big of a number.
My only issue with that number is I would just argue that there's 13 surprise entrants in the Rumble.
No, it has to be not a current WWE superstar or somebody on the roster. Has to be like an actual surprise.
But there's 13 of them.
Right, but it's not a surprise that there's 13 more people. It's who the people are.
Yeah, that's a surprise. We don't know who
No.
those 13 people are, so they're all surprises.
So what you're saying is it's not a surprise to see Otis, but it is a surprise to see
like Jericho.
But would it be a surprise to see Jericho at this point? Because we keep saying that we're going to see Jericho. Same idea with Hobbs.
Also, no guarantee, but I would count Jericho and Hobbs as a surprise. Otis, definitely not.
Would you count Trick?
He's already in the Rumble, and he's on the main roster for SmackDown.
Better example, would you consider La Parka?
He would be a surprise. Is this too subjective?
No, I think we're defining the rules, which makes sense. So it can't be from anybody in WWE, SmackDown, or Raw. It can't be anybody from NXT, but it can be from other sister stuff like AAA.
AAA, I would even say TNA or anything else.
So if Dolph Ziggler shows up or Nick Nemeth shows up, you'll count that as a surprise?
I would count that as a surprise, but not Matt Cardona.
Matt Cardona is technically back on the main roster. That would make more sense.
Yes. I'm on the same page as that. Does that work for everybody?
I'm trying to find loopholes, and I really can't find any.
I mean, it's technically subjective, but I'm fine with that number.
We're making it objective right now.
I think 6.5 is too high.
You think so? I should bring it down?
Yeah, if you're going by surprise entrant.
With 13 other people could be surprises. Out of those 13 for both Rumbles, because I think there's 17 announced on both sides, only 4 of those have to be a surprise.
But it's set as 6.5 right now.
Right. So you would need one match to have 3 and one to have 4.
That seems low to me. You guys keep saying high, but based on what you're making it sound like, to me, it sounds low.
Oh, you
I
said
feel like the number should be
both
like
Rumbles.
10.
It's both. Yeah, it's not one of the. It's both combined.
I feel like 10.5.
That's way too much.
So you're thinking only 6. So 6.5 or more of 26 people are going to be a surprise.
It would be, what is it? Yeah, 26. It would have to be, 7 of those 26 would have to be not WWE, NXT.
So what about the Hurricane?
The Hurricane? That would be a surprise. I would count that as a surprise because that would be a return, though. I know what you're saying now, and you raise a good point. But it'd have to be, but he's not, he's part of WWE, but not main roster, right?
I don't know if he was ever taken off of main roster. So yeah,
He's doing a bunch of backstage stuff, but I think that's a fair point, but I think that's how I would rule it. Well, that's definitely how I would rule that.
What about Triple H?
That would be a surprise. I would count that because he's still like not main roster. He's not on the roster.
The Rock.
That would also be a surprise.
Yeah, see, I don't like how subjective these are.
Are these people you're expecting to see?
No,
though?
I'm purely trying to define the rules. So if people have questions, we know the answers.
That's why I say like the Hurricane, because like that's more likely, or like Hornswoggle, that's more likely.
I would still say both of those are surprises.
Or like, what about Sean Spears or Ty Dillinger?
Sean Spears. I would have to see where he is. If he comes up literally on the WWE roster, then I would say no, because I'd still go back to the WWE website for it.
I think Sean Spears is technically on NXT, but if he came back as Ty Dillinger,
I mean, that will be another bridge we'll deal with when we cross it, or when we have to cross it.
because he was never Sean Spears on SmackDown or Raw.
I think maybe it would make even more sense then if he's a surprise would be somebody not listed as a current superstar. How is that? Because that's even listing the NXT people too. And it's literally all on the roster, like the website.
I like that. My next question is, what if there's 31 people?
There won't be.
What if?
Then it's John Cena at 31.
So is it a surprise or is it not a surprise?
That would be a surprise.
So 31 people is a surprise.
So I see what you're saying. It would have to be somebody that is a surprise. The number wouldn't matter. Does that make sense?
Okay, so sarcastically, if there's 40 people, despite the fact that there are only 30 people, if they were all WWE people main roster, it's perfectly fine. No surprises.
Yes, that is how
Got
I
it.
would view that.
Okay. All right.
Is that fair enough?
I feel like you've defined your rules well, and I understand it.
Roman's already declared, so that makes sense.
Yep. The only other question beyond that is just, will any matches have blood? I expect no. Everybody should put no. But I felt like that kind of rounded out everything.
I don't know. We've been surprised by WWE for almost every pay-per-view.
That's true. And it's in Saudi. I don't know if that raises it or lowers the odds that there would be blood. All right. I'm now joined by a very, very, very special guest. Somebody we've talked to before, but it's been a while. Jared, thank you very much for coming and sharing your time with us. You're now the #1 contender for Japeth's Pick The Push Championship going into the Royal Rumble. How you feeling?
If you could refer to me as JaredHolmes, I would appreciate that.
All right. I won't, but I respect the play.
I'm feeling fantastic, man. Absolutely fantastic. I don't know who that Japeth guy is. He sounds like one of the Saudi Arabian type people, so it wouldn't surprise me. So I'm doing this for America, just like my New England Patriots is going to be doing it for America next Sunday. This Saturday, I'm doing it for America. I'm doing it for Drake May. I'm doing it for the New England Patriots, man.
That is awesome. And obviously, I'm going to support the New England Patriots anyway. But I mean, I don't know how that, like, I like the representation, but, I'm sure Japeth has a similar fan base, but maybe not. We'll talk to him at some point. Maybe we'll find out. But I mean, it's been a while since we've talked to you. Is there anything else you've been up to? You're just watching football.
I've been, fucking bitches, obviously, getting money, obviously, popping bottles, obviously. Like anytime I go anywhere, it's a red carpet treatment. As a potential first ever 2-time Pick the Push champion, like everyone treats me like royalty everywhere I go.
Fair enough. Now, one of my concerns going into this is that, you have a lot of injury history. Are you concerned at all about your health going into this match or anything? Or do you think, like, I can take your place if you need me to?
No, I'm healed up. I will say this though. I am dealing with a very small fracture in my elbow, but I think I'm going to be fine to compete at the Royal Rumble.
Okay. Interesting. Now, going back into you talking about potentially making history at being maybe the first ever 2-time Pick the Push champion, you also tied the record for most Royale wins at 4, tying Ferg's record. What do you think is more important to you as far as, like, what history are you trying to make?
I was the first ever 1-time Pick the Push champion, so it only makes sense that I'm the first ever 2-time Pick the Push champion.
What would you say is more important to you, becoming the first ever 2-time champ or defeating Japeth, someone that's just showed up out of nowhere and has been one of the most dominant forces we've ever seen so far?
I don't know who that is, nor do I care. His presence means absolutely nothing to me. It's all about me though. Like, we don't need to talk about that guy. It's all about me winning the championship for a second time. This is my interview space. I don't need to hear his name.
All right, fair enough. I'll drop the Japeth stuff, even though I just said his name again for you.
Yeah, what if he appears? What if he's like Joe Hendry and he just appears?
I only need to say it one more time if it's like Beetlejuice, right?
That is true.
I'm going to stop saying that, though. We don't need that guy running around here. As far as Rumble picks or anything like that, do you actually believe AJ is going to retire at the Rumble?
Yes, I do. So they kind of just like speed run the retirement tour, had him against Shinsuke, had him against Punk, 2 matches people have been wanting to see again for a while.
Yeah.
I think it makes sense. I think he retires, dude, but I think he just retires from WWE. I think he may go have a match in TNA, but I think he goes to AEW, man.
Oh, shit. I don't know if he'd go to AEW, but him showing up in TNA after would be pretty wild in my mind, and I never even thought of that angle.
Dude, the only reason I think of that he's going to AEW, he trademarked his own name. So I think he goes. All of his boys there, all of his best friends are there. Sure. It makes sense for him to go. Club. It makes sense for him to go end his career over there.
That would be crazy. And supposedly, his contract's up 3 days after the Rumble, right?
Yeah, apparently.
Interesting. Now, did you see the post that Shinsuke made?
I did. Maybe it's just like, a swerve, like, we're just posting it there so people think he loses and then big pop when he don't.
Yeah, I'm so skeptical about it.
I think it makes sense for him to retire where he debuted.
Yeah, I don't disagree with that. It just seems like, AJ and Shinsuke would be smarter about that instead of just spoiling it. Which is just what is just raising alarms for me, but I still kind of expect him to be done.
Oh, I wouldn't be surprised if he's not, though, to be fair.
Right, just because it seems like, I don't know.
It just seems so thrown together.
I think Shinsuke and AJ are smarter than just spoiling it. That's really all it comes down to.
Yeah, but Shinsuke did delete it like 5 minutes later, to be fair.
Did he? Okay. That's a big point. I didn't know that. That's good to know. Now, I really only have one more question for you. And, I mean, answer this, depending on how you're feeling. Is there anybody that you think has the best opportunity to win the Rumble right now? Or do you want to keep those cards closer to your chest?
I can say it because I think there's so many names. So many names on both. So there's a lot of names on the women's side, honestly.
For sure.
Obviously, there's 30 names that could win it. But I think I'm going to go my final Royal Rumble prediction for the men's Akira Tozawa and for the women's Maxine Dupree.
All right. Maxine Dupree might surprise you. But yeah, I like where you're going with this.
I'm not telling anybody who I think's gonna win. Nobody's gonna steal
that's
my
fair.
raw talent.
I'm definitely trying to steal stuff. So, all right. Besides that, what do you think will be the biggest surprise we might see at the Rumble then?
So a lot of people think Chris Jericho. I think the biggest surprise is that we don't see Chris Jericho.
Interesting. Okay.
But as for like a name,
Who do you think versus who do you want?
so who I want to see, this is the most niche of niche. Yoshitatsu.
I already know. Yeah, I knew it was gonna be
Yoshitatsu, dude.
Yoshitatsu. I gotta stop.
Do you know how cool that would be? Like that's what I want to happen.
That wouldn't be cool. It would be cool for you, and I would laugh just because of you.
You would have to pop. You would pop.
Yeah, I would pop because of you though, not because of Yoshitatsu.
Dude.
Yeah, his song was a banger.
I think a good surprise is I think we see Royce Keys, aka Powerhouse Hobbs.
Yep, that would be cool. I have him as an option to pick for a winner.
Hell yeah. I don't think he wins it. He definitely shows up.
Yeah.
I do not think if y'all want I'm one of the best pick the push people. I don't know if Ian's gonna have real Chris Jericho show up, but if he does, put no. Because Chris Jericho will not be at the Rumble.
I've heard different. I'm more convinced that he's gonna be there, but I like the difference.
I don't know, man. AEW is quick to remove people off the roster page whenever they're gone. He's still there.
He is there as of right now?
Well, as of last night when I looked. I don't know about right now,
Sure.
but
Yeah. But still more recently than he should be if he is gonna show up at the Rumble. Interesting. All right. Well, that's really all I had. Is there anything you'd like to add, or is there any shout outs, or where can we find you, stuff like that?
You can find me on YouTube, The Jared Holmes. You can find me on TikTok too, but that platform's dying. Instagram, you can find me, The Jared Holmes.
All right. And it's not the JaredHolmes.
It could be. I might change it
Not
to
yet.
that if the Patriots win the Super Bowl. Go Patriots, though.
I like that. Yeah. All right. I think that's a good place to end it. Regardless,
It is.
Jared, good luck. Go Patriots. Thank you again so much for your time. You have a
Hey,
great rest of your night.
you're not welcome. Have a bad night.
That's going to wrap up this week's episode of Pick the Push. Don't forget to enter the Royale for the Royal Rumble. You followed the link in our bios. It brings you to the Google form that you fill out. They're all multiple choice questions. It's free to enter, and you can become the champion of the only podcast you can win. Don't forget, follow us on X, Instagram, or on YouTube, or wherever you listen to podcasts. Good luck to everybody. You're going to need it. We'll see you next time. I can't wait to talk about what happens.
Aller, pick the push. Call it sharp, call it clean. Pick the push. No half steps, no in between. Pick the push. No luck, no hush. Only legends survive when you pick the push. Boards light, hearts race, crowd reacts. Every pick swings, no room for slacks. Bluff fails quick, mistakes break fast. Every choice lands, nothing's left to chance. Climb the ranks, feel the surge, hit it hard, no room to purge. Eyes locked, focus tight, every swing counts in the fight. Predicted the twist, caught us all flat. No way you had that. Pick it right, own the night. Pick it wrong, still stand your fight. Every call cracks, every swing crushed. Step in the ring, pick the push. Push, push. I learned pick the push. Call the plays on the night. Push. Make it land, hold it tight. Push. No slack, no hush. Only legends survive when you pick the push. When you pick the push. When you pick the push. When you pick the push.
Christ.
It's absolutely
It
brutal.
was awesome.
That
I have
was
to
a fuck up a
admit-
spider.
I
Yep.
have. Sorry.
No,
I have
I
to-
didn't have anything.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I keep accidentally doing it. Oh, it's gonna get cut out anyway. I love you guys. I have
Continue
to
to
admit,
cut
I
off,
felt
Brett.
like
I'm
that.
just gonna keep talking.
My God. I'm
I'm done. I'm sorry.
Oh my God. Let's see if I can do it. I'm gonna see if I can do it over you guys. I love you very much, and I'm gonna try.
Last chance. You guys got anything?
uh,
Not what I asked. Happy you shared it though.